So welcome everybody to the special meeting of the Underhill Conservation Commission on March 18th, 2014, beginning at 6:32 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask if there are any adjustments to the agenda.
No.
No. Hearing that there are none, we'll go to the public comment, and at this point, I am not seeing any members of the public here. So maybe we should just wait a minute or two, but the cat's now not joining the table. Yeah, we should wait a minute or two, perhaps for if there are any members of the public to join us. Maybe 6:35. Betsy and Patrick, did you know that the kitty likes to scratch and attack people?
It does?
The town kitty, yep.
Attacks them at the door?
No, if you reach for the kitty very quickly, the kitty will scratch, will meet you with its claws extended to scratch.
Oh.
I don't know. Does it say it bites too?
It just says to be careful.
Yeah.
Or do not. Do not pet.
So tonight the kitty is treating us to being on the table.
She feeling pretty feisty tonight?
There's the tail in front of my face on the camera.
Uh-oh, here comes the kitty now. Nope, there it goes. Just wants to see Penny. Okay. Oh, we're waiting one more minute because we wanted to be able to provide some people with public comment, but no one else is here. There were no members of the public. Okay, so I think what we should do is then begin our organizational meeting. And typically at the organizational meeting, who wants to be the chair, the vice chair, the secretary/treasurer, or who wants to also join the conservation committee. So are there nominations for the chair of the Conservation Commission?
Well, I nominate Karen.
Second.
Are there other nominations? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it, and I will accept the nomination to be chair. But I also need nominations for vice chair. And I'm not.
When I join, I would be looking through my if there's an opening and people want to vote on it. And the other committee. Whenever that is.
Does anyone want to be vice chair, right, that's present this time? No? All right, hearing none, we will leave that position open until we find someone to fill the position. And then finally, but not lastly, secretary treasurer. Are there nominations for that?
Lori, she does a fine job, as does Karen.
I would second that, but I don't know as actually chair I can do that. Pat, can you second that for us, please? So I'm not sure, okay, we second that, all right.
Okay.
All in favor of nominating and voting for Lori to be secretary/treasurer, please say aye or
Aye.
aye. Well,
Okay.
congratulations,
Accept.
Lori.
Thank you.
You're our treasurer secretary for the next year. So thank you.
Yep.
Before just this afternoon, I passed out the UCC Policies and Procedures, or not called necessary. It's actually, our title of it is called, what happened to my, uh-oh. Oh, okay, it's called the Rules of Procedure. And we don't have to vote on them today. This is just exactly right off the press what we approved last year in May. I think that I made some typo changes on the 6th of June, but these are they. If you haven't had an opportunity to look at them, we can table this until the next meeting. I just need to know how you feel.
No need to table it, I don't think.
Betsy?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said
want-
that, well,
We
for the
can
rules of,
table it?
we could table it or not. They're exactly the same as last year. If you want to table it, we can. Laurie suggested not tabling it.
I suggest,
Whatever.
I go with that.
You go with that?
You bet.
Yeah. Then, if that is the case, and we adopt it tonight, I need a motion to adopt it.
I second it.
Okay.
I'll move to adopt it and Betsy can second.
Okay. Then all in favor of adopting the rules of procedure as written with changes to the date. This says 6/12/23 and it'll read 3/18/24 at the top. If that's the case, and all in favor of adopting it, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. Are there any nays? No. Okay, so this is formally adopted, and I will make just a few changes to the dates. And next time we have our meeting in April, we can all sign it, and then I'll give it to the select board, or Brad, actually. All right, so finally, the brainstorming planning session. And
Yeah.
how do we want to do that?
Well, do you want to give me the screen sharing capability again? And then, so I guess I just need to get logged in through our thing here.
It's a whole pile of things. So what's coming up now is pin, mute me, edit, or copy.
You're gonna see my name pop up in just a second here.
I'm hovering over you.
Okay, all right.
Oh, you're going to be the presenter.
Yes.
Yes. There. Okay.
Well, you're doing that because you're zooming or going to meeting, you're logged in. And
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
I'm logged in.
Okay.
And should let me share screen. Okay, perfect. So cool. So here's what we've got for the voting. So Penny, thank you for setting up this locked tab. This looks great. I did go through earlier and just highlight like our highest numbers.
Okay, good.
Do you think, having looked at it, that this is a way of analyzing the data that's useful? Do you
I
think
think
that?
so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't quite certain, but
I know. I was kind of
I don't
thinking,
know anything about data crunching and.
right. So these are our totals from everyone, right? Or is that, yeah, let's see. Yeah. So I think it added up everybody's rating in this box,
Right.
and then we have it kind of over here as well. So I think this makes sense. We're kind of adding up our, first of all, like personal level of interest in each project, how feasible we think it is, and how much of a priority we think it is. That's kind of what our totals came out to in these boxes. And then I just kind of went through and highlighted the ones that were over about 45 total. Our highest one came out to be renovating and sprucing up the Crane Brook kiosk sign and maintaining it with up-to-date info. So that's kind of what our highest vote came out to, our highest priority that we should add to maybe our must-do list. So just kind of thinking about, let's see, what was that tab? Here, our original brainstorm. So I was kind of thinking here we would kind of add in the ones with the highest votes and say these are like now part of our already planned events and projects, like our 1 year plan, right? And then maybe some of the other highlighted yellow are more of like the 5-year plan. Like we're interested in it, but it's not imperative right now. That's what I was thinking.
Sounds good. Yes.
So good. So I can kind of go through and do that, or maybe first I just go through what our highest votes were, and then we'll add it, and I can share out a list to everybody of just like what we maybe came up with for priorities. Okay. So the other 50 total vote situation was the resource pamphlets. So walks, reading suggestions, documentary suggestions, some bookmarks. Idea, like a resource pamphlet for the Underhill Conservation Commission. I'm just going to scroll through and see. The other, this was a 49, not a 50, but it was pretty close. So the Eco Club at the high school, between Trinity and I, kind of getting that going. It seems like the group's really interested in that. And then we get into, like, some of the numbers are a little bit smaller, but let's see. Again, another educational events pamphlet, kind of like invasive species and jumping worms, so kind of keeping that going, having pamphlets is important to us. Oh, here's some other ones. The Monarch partnership with Riverside Park, Mills Riverside Park, and connecting with Libby about that, and the Monarch partnership at the local school, which kind of already goes along with the Monarch project, but kind of expanding on that.
And
yeah.
Pardon me, Lord.
Yes.
It's actually Libby. L-I-B.
Oh, thanks. I don't know all my people yet. Awesome. And then the bird walk with the UCC, and maybe it's not necessarily bird diva for the cost, but kind of getting a local birder.
And it's Maeve Kim, K-I-M, instead of
Thank
Campbell.
you. Huh. Alrighty.
And she's all ready to go.
Oh, great.
Oh, good. Do we have a
But
date?
that's not 2 dates. We can talk about it later.
Okay. And then just kind of going back to some of the other high 40s, other things we thought were important, just focusing on educational events, having a junior conservation commission kind of rated pretty high. And then again, more posters, pamphlets, having an A-frame sandwich board to slip those posters into, which Penny talked about at the last meeting, with a Conservation Commission logo, and also doing a scavenger hunt around Moore Park. So I was kind of thinking the cutoff might be like 45 points or higher for like some of our highest interest. But I don't know, Penny, what you think.
Well, I think that I'm trying to log in the way you are. I'm having trouble. I think that sounds like a good idea. What Karen was thinking about doing, and I bet you I didn't have the time to fit it in, was comparing these to the town plan, what they have assigned to the Conservation Commission. So I was actually, I'm guessing you probably didn't have time to do that with all the million things you've got going on.
I had house guests last week.
Yes, okay. So I just wanted to confirm that. So I was thinking that that might be an additional overlay to ranking, except I don't really know much about ranking,
Right.
is, for instance, just to create an exaggeration, if the planning commission said, and sorry, I have to wear my hat for the lights are causing me glare. If the planning commission said, these 20 tasks are assigned to the Conservation Commission, and we came up with 10 ideas, and they were all great and they aligned with the town plan, but they aligned with one of the tasks of the town plan, then should that somehow skew it or weight it in some way? But I'm not certain, because I don't really exactly know how to do that. But I thought it might be worth a try, because if we're neglecting 19 and focusing just on one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't personally know how to do that exactly.
Can you scoot over to
This part.
C, maintain forest blocks, and those, some of these crosswalk actually with work of, for example, the mapping.
Right.
The mapping of our, inventory of forest blocks and wildlife, maintain and improve them. That sort of goes with that. And then they also coincide with the duties of a conservation commission.
Right, but there are maybe, 25 of those, so I don't know that like on the fly we can.
No, we can't, and I'm sorry.
Really. Oh, that's okay. But maybe I'm happy to work on that also. So maybe it could be a tentative step of putting them on there, but then maybe just the next step is double checking.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. Because it's true, like the things that we chose at first glance are kind of already things that we do, like educational events, informing the public with pamphlets, but we're not really, improving a forest block per se, like in any of those, or delineating a wetland area. I don't know, something like that. But,
we do have conduct natural resource, whoops, it's up at the top more.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
It's natural resource inventory of the town, which is part of what we've been doing. I don't know if that crosswalks with resource pamphlets, which is good or not.
So what I think, what I was, I think, suggesting earlier was, I don't know if this would work. Get that list, which is Appendix B that you sent out. And which is a little bit different, maybe visual. It's a different visual than this, right? And it's a little bit easier. It's a little easier. And rate the list that we came up with.
Right, like I pulled them from here, but I think
the Appendix B is the actual to do by the committee, right?
Right.
So, and then rate the laundry list that we came up with of brainstorming ideas relative to this, and all I could think of is sort of an A, B, C, D, E kind of thing. Like, does it E is it doesn't meet any of these, D is it meets, I don't know if you'd say it meets more than one, because I don't know if I haven't looked at these, I don't know if these overlap. It might be a to-do under one thing, and it might be a to-do under another, so I haven't quite looked at that. So I wondered about sort of rating. So if we come up with our top 10, and 3 of them are E's, and 2 of them are A's, and 3 of them are C's, then maybe we have to toss out the E's or
Right.
save them. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the only way that I can think to do it possibly, but it's fairly subjective, like really subjective.
No,
So maybe could that be the next step, do you think, that we try and do
Yeah.
it that way?
Right. It's almost like I'm trying to think of how we could visualize it or how we could get everyone in front of it. You know, I'm like, is it going to be on paper and we have Appendix B printed out and then we have the list of, you know, our top choices and we're kind of matching them? Or how are we going to do it online? I guess is my vision.
What do you think that maybe not everybody wants to do it? Maybe it's just like a tedious thing, because everyone participating is really that's more I imagine things that you want to do that you just query people about. This is more, I think, objective and factual, although there's some subjective in it. So could a couple people just take on the task? And maybe what you would do is have, like, you could list the top 10 or however many you come up with. So we have 1 through 10, or we have, I don't know what they're called, 1 through 10, say. And then one of us or 2 of us do this, and we take, Lori, can you expand that or not?
Yeah.
Can you expand that?
This one, or did you want?
I mean, just so we can see more of the page. So one is called initiatives, and then if you scroll down, there's another section called mapping. Okay, so say Karen took initiatives, mapping, research, and data gathering, and then took the 10 items and then listed, this pamphlets, do I put that after the line item? Oh, well, it's here. You know, we got that fulfills that one, that fulfills that one. Do you think maybe we could do it sort of like that? Just 2 people agreeing to look it over and then look over each other's just as a double check? Right. Or maybe 2 people to do the whole thing, each one to do the whole thing, and then collaborate and see if you agree on things.
Yeah.
So would that mean for each section that this time we have the top 45 through 55 or whatever the score is?
Yeah.
And then we could have across the top again another crosswalk. Is that what you're saying? Of the different sections, and then
I actually sent something out. I'd have to look at it. I think it's not. I think we don't put those sections in there at all. I think it's sort of offline. We do that, and we say, and we rate it. We end up coming up with, if of the 10, do you really want to talk about this now? I'm sorry, I'm making it so boring because I don't have it well thought through. Of the 10 things that we choose, our top 10, if they fulfill initiatives, if 2 of them fulfill most of the to-do list, then they get an A. You know, so we just have a column beside each of these 10 items that rates them A, B, C, D, E. And offline, we figure out if it's an A, B, C, D, or A. Do you know what I mean by that?
I think so.
Sort of, kind of.
I do. I'm wondering, could we do something where we have the list of the 10 most rated things, and then we go through and just align them and say, okay, creating a pamphlet aligns with initiative chapter, policy 10.
I just think making everybody do that is tedious.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think that's exactly what we do. We say initiative 3 pamphlets aligns with this one, this one, this one, this one. Initiative 1, such and such, doesn't align with any of them. And
then would we come back and say we're really feeling like we're missing research and data gathering? Like we're doing a lot of, because it seems like already we are doing a lot of promotion and outreach, but not a lot of maybe policy and implementation or something.
So I think that maybe if we rated them all in something, and we need to have in our minds that we should at least fulfill, say half. Like the top one should fulfill half. Well, if none of them fulfill half, then maybe they're all B's and C's, and then we have to think of in that other list, is there anything that that's what I would end up. So I think it's busy work, it's busy homework, and I think maybe assigning it to 2 people, and I'd be happy to help, to just go through it with those top 10, and maybe go through it with all 30 or 40, and see how it rates A, B, C, D, E,
Mhm.
or your teacher, I don't know, what, they don't even use that anymore probably, right? Pass,
Yeah.
fail, maybe it's
How
pass,
do
fail.
you do politically correct
Yeah.
for this one?
Yeah, maybe it's like a,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Maybe it's.
Maybe it's pass, fail, and how
Yeah.
many pass, fails it has, you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe that, I don't know enough about data.
So are you thinking like the project? You go through each of these, and it might align with 30 out of the 50 or whatever's on this list,
Yeah,
and that might be a pass because that's more than half.
right.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe it's, these things are listed, these are all listed here, and then say we had columns for your 1 through 30 or your 1 through 10, however many ones.
Right.
And then we just list, does this align with this? Yes, 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 no,
Mhm.
no, yes, yes. And then what's that, what does that add up to? You know, kind of thing, something
Penny,
like
I
that.
think I said that before, and you said, no, that wasn't what you were thinking
Oh,
of.
no, but I mean, not for everybody, not
No.
on that
Okay.
chart. That's like off
Right.
screen is what I meant. It's like,
Yeah.
not putting it on that chart.
I guess I just think like, this is a really ambitious list, right? So I would say if this year, if the Underhill Conservation Commission could take on, I don't know, is it
One,
right? One from each section, one initiative section, one mapping section, one research data section, and like just make sure we're doing one project that aligns to some of the goals in policy and implementation. Is that
that's
too?
no, I don't think that's under ambitious. I
Right.
think that might be too ambitious even, but
Yeah.
but let's sort of like the mapping, let's see where we're at
Right.
with it, and then let's figure out where can we go with it or not.
And with the mapping, I think I heard Sandy say that she and Ryan would like to join the Conservation Commission for this section of the
Oh, really?
walk in the parks. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah. I think she was thinking that might be, she suggested that, so we might get help
Oh, great.
in
Two more
that.
people.
2 more people to help and maybe stay if they like to stay, but at least for that. No, she hasn't spoken to the whole group about that, but she was sort of thinking that would be the way to help and help us out and sort of fulfill the mission of the Natural Resources Inventory and Mapping Committee. Yeah.
So Penny, maybe we can continue that vision together offline. And
Yes. Karen, is that all right? If I
Yes.
will work with Lori on that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine, and you can
All
do that because it's not a forum.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'm a community person anyway. I'm not even on the
That's
committee.
right. The other piece, Betsy, seeing you here is what we left off is some of the work that you've been doing though with or is it Penny, with the thoughts, the conservation type thoughts that periodically appear in the,
Oh, that's Betsy on the website?
yes, on the
Oh,
website.
nice, yes.
Is that
They're
not you,
beautiful.
Betsy?
Yes. Is that me? Yes.
And we left it off our sort of list.
Oh, as one of the things we're
doing.
tackling.
Although it is
Yeah.
communication.
It is, and it takes time and energy
Yeah.
and effort to do that.
Yes, it does.
That should be on the list for sure.
Yeah.
I think that goes without saying. We don't even have to vote on that. We need to maintain a current presence, I think.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I can add that into, it kind of goes with, we said posters, pamphlets, how to market the UCC.
Yes, right.
Logo. We kind of combined a bunch of like online and just
That'd be
community
great.
presence type
Yeah.
thing.
Adding
So
website to that, though,
Yeah.
would be
Community
great.
presence would be good.
Website maintenance.
Yeah.
And Betsy, since that time, I've seen more things by, it's Hal Borland?
Yes.
Oh, how lovely.
He's a great author
Mm.
of the past. Good. I'm glad you like them.
Okay, so we have a plan.
we have a plan,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
do we feel like we're taking longer than we originally thought? And like, because I know our original plan was to kind of do the brainstorming and come up with kind of like the 1 to 5 year plan before we market some of our open spots, you know, and really kind of put it out there that the Conservation Commission is looking for new members. Are we feeling like we're, I don't know, slow going, or do you feel like this is right?
Well, it's a little slow going because we only meet once a month.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so typically doing something similar with project manager and coming up with a list happens a lot faster.
Right.
Yeah,
But I have to keep in mind that we're meeting once a,
instead of once a week, you know, when you
once a
do with your
month.
business, you know.
yeah. So,
I think it kind of has to be the way it has to be.
but I think that it's sort of, we can do it sort of at the same time as some of the list of the things that we have to, sort of the have to do's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so we did the town meeting and we'll have green up and we'll fit in birding and
Right.
hopefully in May or so. Betsy has a, you know, so we'll have
Yeah.
some of those and plant sale. If we do it, and Jay emailed me to see if we're going to do it because he wants to put it on his appointment book. Our announcer, Jay Letterman.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. So,
Lori and I will get together
Yeah,
offline and present some things some ideas at the next meeting to try and pull the data together.
can we scoot back to the list of the things that we must be doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the dates are you know,
Yeah.
obvious, but and then Betsy could give us the option of a couple
Yeah.
too. So
So do you want me to list out like what we have already agreed to as the Conservation Commission? So,
I just,
oh yeah,
Do you want to see them?
oh yeah, I logged myself out. I thought
okay. Well,
I
then
thought I was done.
okay, all right. Then if you
You're
want,
never done.
It's just 6 things. So Green Up Day.
Yeah.
So that's what, May 4th this year. Actually, one of my students at Essex Middle School won the poster contest this year.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was exciting. So it'll be her work all over the posters.
Aw.
I know.
That's nice. Yeah.
So then we have the Monarch Butterfly Project. We have put just educational programs in general, tracking, birding, the plant sale / fundraisers. Oh, and the website was already here, Betsy. So this is where we put the website.
Oh.
Okay.
It's already already
And
planned.
let's do, yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
And then invasive species. And we didn't define that, so I think that could be pamphlets, it could be informational sessions, or actually working. To remove.
Software to get the calendar, but I think the plant sale is usually the first Saturday in June, and I think that would be June 1.
June 1st, yeah. It would be.
That,
Maureen, can I join like you do? How do I not do, I turn off my volume, otherwise it
Yeah.
will, okay.
Yep.
All right, and I think I will join
The
this.
microphone was off too.
Oh, okay, all
So,
right.
just something to throw in there. I've learned that Crane Brook has a bunch of downed trees on some of the paths, and I'm wondering if that could be combined easily with, well, maybe the rec committee could take on that. I'm just, that hasn't been talked about in a while, but along with, I'm happy to do the sign. It's easy enough to do. Anyway, I don't mean to steer us off course.
Betsy, that means over the paths, over paths?
Yeah, well, down through the meadow and across that section that's a wide, what has been a road, down to the back of the gravel pit.
So how do we handle that here? Does somebody talk to somebody?
typically we have a work day and we get volunteers. That's what we've done. things like
Oh,
that.
Conservation Commission sponsors it and
Well, we'll
basically
talk
posts
with
it?
the rec committee,
Okay.
and then also I'll just talk to Brad to see if, because if it's down trees and then we need somebody to pick up the pieces of the trees, I'm assuming.
Mm.
And I think that maybe we could get the road crew to do that.
Oh.
I'm just
So
asking.
I know this because Matt's ridden through there, and I'm only reminding us that it could be that there are more areas within the woodland area, less in the out in the open, where trees have come down, and I wondered if it would make sense for some of us who can to wander through and just sort of check it out before we start getting people going on fixing it.
Yeah. Oh, I could just.
I need experience.
You want to go for a walk?
Yes, I'd love to go for a walk. I was thinking I'd love to go to I don't know much about Crane Brook. I don't think I've ever walked the whole Crane Brook trails.
Oh.
It'd be time that I do that, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness, you haven't?
No,
You haven't seen the meadow? The view from the meadow?
I've seen the
Okay,
from the
right.
meadow. That's the place that I have gone.
So,
Good.
I'm just looking at the weather. Tomorrow's cloudy.
This week I'm my eyeballs.
Sort of me too, so that's okay. Maybe next week at the beginning of the week? Maybe Monday?
That's probably good. Let me double check there.
Yeah.
I won't be able to go, but I wonder if it would make sense to take a little scratch paper and make some notes on locations, just so we are clear and remember.
Yeah, maybe,
Yes.
isn't there a map, the PDF of a map? Could we take that? Would that be,
Yeah, we could
and
do
mark
that.
on it?
Yeah, we
Sure.
could do that. Have that.
I have Monday in the afternoon.
Monday in the afternoon? Let
Yeah.
me see what I'm doing Monday night. Is that a DRB meeting?
Oh,
Oh, that's okay. I mean,
I don't pay attention to that anymore.
we should.
I know.
Okay, whoops. Look at that. Okay, Monday, the 25th?
Monday, the 25th.
I could do that in the afternoon, like early afternoon? Like around
One?
1?
One?
Okay, yeah, we have 2 volunteers to do that.
Right. Crane Brook. Nice, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna add at 1 o'clock. Do you know where to go?
Not a clue. I know, New Road, when we've gone that way with the
What?
birding.
Yeah.
Is that the way to go? Where we stopped, and started the.
Yes,
Okay,
right there, yeah.
okay.
1 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, Karen.
That'll be fun. Thank you, Betsy.
Yeah. And once I'm able, which should be sooner than later, I hope, I'm happy to do the painting and as part of the educational piece, tie in with our plan for interesting information to put on the kiosk.
Oh, nice.
That's very nice. Okay, so we have a plan for that.
We have a plan?
Yeah, thank you. I have not been out there since late fall.
Nor have I.
Okay, that's good. Betsy, while we're talking about things like that, what are the dates that you have for birding?
Maeve Kim is very eager and delighted to for free, and I suggested we might make a small donation to some organization or whatever. But anyway, she's happy to take us on a birding walk on May 11th and hopefully seeing hawks. And then that's a Saturday with the thought that it would need to be an early outing because that's when they're up and soaring. And September 7th or 8th, and at 10 o'clock. And her partner is Bernie Paquette, and tied in with Maeve. She said he would be happy to join in and or do any kind of walk, talk, but he would be happy to come along. He's a wealth of knowledge and quite a character, and very happy to join in, and they both are strong proponents of wildlife and birds in particular.
But, so May 11th, is that what you said
Yeah.
initially? Yes, and then follow up on May 7th?
No, September.
No,
September
September 7th or 8th would be a separate walk. She wanted
Okay.
to do 2.
Yes, okay. Well, that's very nice.
Yeah.
2 dates. Yeah, that is good. Thank you very much.
Did we want to do, we can talk about this next month too, but do we want to do like a sign up like we have done in the past for the Bird Diva? Like, I'm happy to take that on if you think it's worth it.
That's a good idea, just because of numbers.
Betsy, do you think it might be double the size of a past birding because Bernie and Maeve would each be taking groups?
It could be. We could certainly pose that to them. In other words, the same dates, but 2 people going in 2 different directions with 2 separate groups. Is that what you meant?
Or one following the other or something if the group was too big, you know?
Oh, sure. If it were a big group, they could spread themselves throughout, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about, we had set aside some money for the Bird Diva. Is that for this year?
Yes, we have money for that. Too.
Right. Could we, and would we want to instead purchase some Conservation Commission binoculars for people to use, like for the town, or does Deborah Rawson Library have anything like that for the town? Or, if we're going to do bird walks every year, do 2 of them this year, it might be nice to have, 4 pairs of binoculars for anyone who doesn't have them.
I'll see if we can do that with that money, because it's sort of been earmarked for
birding.
for birding.
Right.
So it could be considered, I guess, like tools or equipment, maybe. But I'll talk to, I'll see, I'll check on that one.
Also,
Because the problem then, I can only see one problem. Where will they live when they're not in use?
that's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The other, in keeping track of them and the like, that, but the other thing is, and I don't know really very much about this, so I'm just asking this question, do you have to have, I have a set of binoculars that my husband got for me that were pretty pricey for birding. Do you need to have a certain quality of binocular or not at all? You know what I mean? So do we need to invest, make sure they're all $150 binoculars, or can you get by with $25 ones?
On Amazon, they do have some Bushnells that they have a pair for $20, they have a pair for $35. I think I would probably go for the $35 pair, and just, I think it's better than having none at all, and it is still a name brand binocular. But that would just be my recommendation, if that money can go to birding and not a birding event.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check.
Sure.
Just because of the complexity of the other things.
That was clever.
Yeah.
That was clever.
I'll check with the library to see if they have anything like that available to borrow, because Evergreen Herb does her walk through with them, and I have to talk to them anyway about something else that might tie in with our activities. So I'll be happy to do that before the next meeting, if that helps.
Does. It does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Trinity's not here to give us a sort of a timeline for the monarch butterflies dates, but that sort of depends on how quickly the season happens or doesn't. So at this point, events coming up are May 4th, cleanup, birding on May 11th, plant sale June 1st, and then birding redo September 7th and 8th or 8th.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. And do you want me to, we could have another kind of workshop on invasive species if you, I can reach out to Vermont Parks and Recreation and see if Ethan or Elizabeth can come out or.
Savalas is the master gardener on invasive species, right?
What's your question now?
She is, isn't she?
She is a master gardener.
Her specialty is invasive species.
Oh, would she like to do it? Maybe.
Maybe that's another option.
Yeah, we could
Being
ask.
right here in town.
That might be a good option because she knows specifically things that are in the town. You know. And there seems to be a lot of interest again in jumping worms. A lot. And so, and I was telling people, well, we do have at least the presentation that Dr. Gore has made, and that is on our website.
Right.
It's a little difficult to find, but it's not really. But I think that people are interested in that again, and maybe we can have that concurrently with a plant sale. Or
also, yeah. I am going to be presenting at the Vermont Association of Composting, something like that, VAC in Waterbury, on April 29th with Mariam Nourian, who is the graduate student, Joseph Gora's graduate student, who does all the research work on jumping worms. And I think that's going to be videoed, I believe.
It's the Vermont Association of Conservation Commission?
VAC, no, it's a composting.
Oh,
it's
okay.
A composting.
So
VAC's.
DAC?
And it's called
Vermont Association of Composting.
I think, something like that, yeah.
Well, that would be very interesting. So we'd have some resources.
Yes, I think that they are an organization that mostly has commercial interests, but also home composters. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's compost associations and landscape businesses and the like come to this conference.
Oh,
so it's commercial and homeowner. And I would like to, my personal desire is to get together jumping worm patrols in all the towns to go to properties to identify jumping worms and to give suggestions for how to manage them, even the most simple suggestions about how not to spread them on your own property. So that's my personal goal that I'm going to see if I can work out this year.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But would you be willing to have a little workshop?
Karen, the problem is I wouldn't shut up. Yes, I would be happy to have any number of workshops.
But in particular, how not to spread.
Yeah.
Do you think, and I don't know if this is even possible, but if we were to have a plant sale this year, could the plants be inspected? Or is that possible?
No, when's the plant sale, Lori? Oh,
June 1st.
So there's not like you can't have your plant inspected and then it's either pass, fail.
it would be nice.
Okay.
It'd be nice. By June 1st, first of all, not necessarily all the worms have hatched, but they probably have. But they're little tiny worms, and they look just like regular European earthworms. You can't tell the difference at that stage.
Okay.
So it's very hard to tell. And I have found with plants, actually Joseph Gorez, I've been experimenting with his suggestions for about a year and a half now, and I would say I don't agree with 75% of them. I would suggest something else. And the issue of plants and garden centers, for instance, is that if you get a plant that is any size at all, its roots are all intertwined, and there's just no way to rinse those roots and create a bare root plant. I've just tried it so many times, unless it's like seedlings that are loose in the soil, and then so just once you get a plant that has any connected roots, it's just really hard to wash it clear of all soil and all possible cocoons and jumping worms. It just doesn't work. So basically, you have to accept the fact that if you bring anything onto your property, you may be bringing jumping worms in. It's just the way it is.
Okay.
Or you could keep the thing in its pot for all summer and periodically pour, what is it? Not ammonia, what is it?
Mustard.
Mustard
Yeah,
water.
solution.
Yeah.
Right, you can.
And if nothing surfaces, you know that they don't have that.
You can. I have really damaged some plants doing that. I got some plants from Arcana, and I just flushed them with the mustard solution, and saw a jumping worm come out, but it could have come from my yard into the pot.
Mhm.
I don't know, because the pots were just sitting on my lawn for a little while. So there's not a really good way to do it. You get plants, you get potted plants, you might get jumping. It's just the way it is.
And we have to think about how we're going to hold our plant sale. We have it.
Yeah. Well, I've read this is such a bigger project, but I've read of other conservation commissions making it an opportunity to talk about jumping worms, but how they have tried to solve the problem is they've gotten sterilized soil, put up a hoop house, and grown their own from seed, their plants, and use that as an opportunity to, educate people on both how to grow seedlings and about jumping worms, and then sell them from growing them themselves. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can put our heads together, maybe with Pat, because she is very much on the watch for jumping worms. She was raising an alarm 5 years ago.
We're infested here around the town offices. I
Yeah.
came by last
You
year.
mean right this strip?
Yeah.
And what across the street?
I haven't gone across the street.
Okay, so it's just this because it's been
It's
planted.
up in the front.
Yeah.
We didn't find one in the planting bed to the left side of the door. We found them to the right side of the door and all across the front. And I believe in that rain garden, I suspect. And jumping worms can go, I think they're reported to possibly spread 30 feet per year. That's a possibility. However, I have watched them in a video just moving right across the driveway in an hour, like 20 feet across the driveway in an hour. So they're spreading, easily spread. So for instance, I don't know if it has spread from here and gone across the road to the herb garden over there or not. I don't know. I can check it out.
That's something to think about. I didn't realize they spread that quickly, and I did not know that they were around the town. But that would make sense because the plants that are around there were planted, they're not old. Some of them are very recent.
Right, or it could be in mulch.
Yeah.
Put around, there's a lot of mulch there.
Oh, I'm so happy I don't mulch,
Mm. Mm.
except for my horseman. That's unhappy. I mean, okay. So where are we here? Dumping room patrols, Penny's personal project.
It's my personal.
Cranebrook cleanup. We should select some dates, maybe at a certain point. We'll do a walkthrough, get back, and maybe at our next meeting talk about dates to do a cleanup and to recruit. I might, in the meantime, just send from what we find, send an email to the rec committee, see if there's an interest in helping. I'm sure there is. They'll have nothing to do as soon as the skating rink is. I'm kidding. No. What else do we want to cover on the agenda? We have a plan for our tasks.
Could I make could I bring a couple of things up?
Certainly you weren't here at the beginning, so we can, yeah.
One thing is, I wonder if it might make sense to put some standing line items on the agenda. That one might be upcoming conservation committee events as a bullet item. One might be the past events, that just to talk about what's happened in this past month. Maybe also the mapping committees, a monthly summary of what's going on in the mapping committee, since that's going to segue to the Conservation Commission at some point. And maybe a bullet point for new business, perhaps, so that we talk about new business. And related to that, I wanted to bring up an email that I got from Sabina Ernst, who is I believe she's the head of the Conservation Commission in Jericho. And she said she was introduced to a film yesterday at her Vermont Coverts meeting and ran it by Don Toby, who's our tree warden. She said our tree warden, so I guess he's the tree warden for Underhill and Jericho.
Oh, he is for Jericho, for Underhill.
Underhill, right.
Yes.
So she says our tree warden, so it must be both.
Yeah.
And Tom, to see if it might be a good topic for screening and Q&A about current use. What are your thoughts on making it a Jericho Underhill event? And so I have the link here, and it looks to be a really beautiful video. And maybe I could play 10 seconds of it here so you can just get the flavor of it.
Sure.
Maybe Lori can show me how
Do you want to make
this.
her the presenter for a minute?
I can.
I don't know how the sound will exactly work, Penny,
Oh,
but
maybe we don't have to have the sound.
yeah.
How about that?
Okay, so.
What's it called?
It is called, oops, hold on one second. It is called Seeing the
do one of
Forest
just
for the
Penny.
Trees,
And then
Vermont's Working Landscape
one of
and Forest
just Penny's
Economy.
face.
I mean, there's not.
Let's see.
Maybe your computer view might be different than ours up here.
Oh.
There are no dots over here for me to make her the presenter.
Is it the one that says Penny Minute?
Is that, it's right here. This one.
Yeah.
Right. All right, make presenter.
Okay, so does this mean my computer screen will come up automatically, Lori, or
It should.
or do I have to select the screen?
You know what? You might have to just X out of the, or just
Yeah.
minimize that for a minute and
Yeah.
then go to the go-to meeting
Oh, all right.
there and
Do share. Whoops.
yeah, exactly.
Share screen.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then
I select this one, maybe.
yeah, mine didn't give me an option either, so I just did share and then okay.
Do you
you're
think
up. You're up there and yeah, you're good.
Okay.
And then
So I'll just play a few seconds of this without the volume, I think. Let's say mute. Seeing the Forest for the Trees, Vermont's Working Landscape and Forest Economy. And I can flip through to a couple of different sections. So hold on, let me do. So we've got this, we've got showing how some forest products are made. housing, interviews. I looked at it just briefly. This forester is talking about how our forests in Vermont tend to be middle-aged and how we really need some young and old forests and what we're going to end up doing about that. So it's pretty. It's a nice. All right, I can stop this right now.
So this isn't really about current use.
I don't know why she said it's, I haven't looked at it. It's 39 minutes. So I don't know. I think it's how we're using our forest. Maybe it's not current use. She did say capital C, capital U about current use. So I don't.
Oh, so use value, you mean that?
Well, you know what? Let me just go right back. Hold on one second. Does it have a little byline down here? Climate change refers to long-term. No, I don't know what that means. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought maybe that was a description of it. Oh, here it is. Maybe here it is, right here. I don't know if you can read that. Our forests are vital to Vermont.
Bigger? Wait a minute.
Can I make it
Oh,
bigger?
yeah, you'd have to.
Let's see. Lori, I don't know how to do that. Can I make it bigger? Can I get rid of the sidebar? on YouTube?
Okay.
What I might do is Control Shift Plus, and then
Control
that'll kind of just do the
Shift
screen in a little bit.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I can
a little bit.
do.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, there you go. That's great. That looks good up there too. So.
Okay. So that's just the first paragraph is
Yep.
what we owe debt of gratitude to those who sustain our forest economy. So it's about the forest economy, maybe.
Okay.
So the question would be, do we want to collaborate with Jericho? I imagine they mean to show this at the library.
Sure, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Does anyone have concerns about co-sponsoring? How much does it cost?
I don't know. Is that the idea? That it would cost? That's why they're asking?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
Maybe it's just for marketing. I'll contact her again. She
Yeah.
just said, what are your thoughts on making it a Jericho Underhill event? So maybe it's a matter of, I'll find out if there's a cost. Maybe it's the issue of just wanting to market it and promote it.
Sure.
And another question I had is, since Betsy is working on logo and letterhead, but probably has been not able to do a lot on that since she has some physical issues she's had to take care of for the last couple of months, yes. What do you think about doing an interim? What about doing an interim?
Logo?
Yeah. Can I?
You know what?
Or are you getting close?
You know what would be great? I have a couple of ideas on the site that Lori suggested. I could really use some computer help navigating that, and I wonder if that would be something you would be willing to partner with in the next, not immediately in the next couple weeks, but maybe in April.
Me or Penny?
Penny.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to. I'm fairly computer savvy. I just have to look at that site a little bit more.
It's Canva. It's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, it is very cool. It's just
Canva without the S.
Canva.
Yep.
CANVA.
VA.
Okay.
there are a couple ideas that I have that are quite simple. And I just haven't done much since that initial effort. Because I'm not very good at buttons and stuff.
Good. So what I was hoping was that maybe we could get even an interim something that we could start advertising using for Green Up Day, plant sale, that sort of thing. So maybe there would be enough time to do that if we can get together in April. Alternatively, here's just a really quick idea that I put together as an interim. If I could just share my screen again and show you, okay, share, we'll do this. Can we get that up there? Yeah, this is just a really quick one of, this is our current letterhead.
Right.
And I thought
Yes.
as an
yeah.
interim, perhaps something like even putting a little banner below it that's floral or tree-like or something, or putting a banner on top of it that's tree-like or floral, or this is just something I grabbed, or putting something down the side so that a fact sheet could go on something like this. So you've got something down the side, or you could bring that all the way around, just as an interim for something consistent to just keep for the next, till whenever you are able to pull something together, Betsy. So if we can't get something done in time, but maybe if it's simple, that would work. To get something for Green Up Day.
Well, Green Up
And that
Day has,
We don't need to,
we have a lot of posters that they send to us.
oh, okay, so we don't need to advertise ourselves on anything.
No, not necessarily, and we have, Lori's student is the one that created the
Right.
poster for Green Up Day.
Right, so then we'd be shooting just for like the birding, getting something out for May 11th.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Betsy, if we were looking at May 11th, say getting something out for the 11th, if we wanted to be able to start marketing it, what, 2 weeks ahead of time, say with flyers, or what do you think?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I would typically post
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I can't. Now I can do a poster.
You could do
in
it,
Front
yeah.
Porch Forum, but in Facebook, there are two Facebook under her Facebook sites.
And on the website, we could have the poster on the website too.
And with Instagram, we have our posters.
So how about maybe the second week of April, Betsy? Could we do, or first or second week of April get together, or is that too early?
No, that's fine. I think for myself, if after the 13th, is that possible? Like,
13th of April?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's try and do it right after that.
Do you want to make a plan right now?
Sure.
How about the 15th?
Tax day. Good one. I am able to, but I'm at the car repair place in the morning, so I'm only available in the afternoon on the 15th. On the 16th, I have morning.
Okay, either's fine with me, whatever you prefer.
Okay, how about we do Tuesday morning, the 16th? Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
And I'll let you pick the time. You tell me.
9?
9 sounds great. I can bring my laptop up, Betsy?
That sounds great, yeah, if you want to do that.
And you have wireless or you don't have wireless?
Yeah, we do.
You do? Okay. And I could get the password for that?
Exactly.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we can come up with the real thing.
That would be nice. Okay, beautiful. 9 o'clock. Okay. So I will correspond with the group about what Sabina has to say because I don't think she can wait till a month to the next meeting. I'll just correspond by email about that. Okay. Good.
Because the time to advertise something like that, once it's spring, it might be hard to get people
Oh, yeah,
to give
right.
up an evening.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
As the weather gets nicer.
Yeah. Patrick, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what I was wondering is, I think you are going to think about something that we could do that had to do with the Abenaki traditions. You're muted.
What did I promise to do?
You promised to think about, we had such a huge interest in the Abenakis and Moosehead Mountain that remember the last time I thought you'd sort of think about what we might be able to have, or you could work on, or put us in touch with someone that would be interested in talking about Abenaki culture and the environment here in Vermont.
Of course, I forgot, and I didn't do anything about it. The Eaton Allen Homestead Museum just had an event with Joe Bruchak on Sunday.
Where was that?
Homestead.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't.
when we have these events, I advertise them locally on Front Porch Forum, and we do occasionally have events that are involved with agriculture and gardening and dancing and singing and all of that sort of thing. What I have found is that we are kind of wearing out the available presenters by having lots of little ones all over the place.
Yeah.
We had that really on Sunday. We had what I thought would be a very popular event. 75 people signed up, only 39 showed. And that's a tremendous waste of the valuable time of one of these presenters. So if we can make sure, I'll find some presenters and some things that we could offer, and then we have to make sure that we get the word out so that it's not wasting their time.
Patrick, I wonder if it could be at all a collaboration, like the question on the Jericho presenting a movie. I think they really just want us to also market with them, say with our logo or our letterhead to people who might identify with us. I wonder if we could collaborate on any presenters already doing some presentation.
It might be possible. There really is no or very little cost involved. Typically, all that Ethan Allen Homestead does is, I don't know, maybe give them a coffee cup with Ethan Allen's picture on it or something. There's no real expense. It's just the advertising and getting the word out there and getting people signed up. But we do have a lot of opportunities to do things, and I think I mentioned last time that in conjunction somehow with the Historical Society, I'm planning on doing a I don't know what you would call it, some kind of an art show at the old schoolhouse sometime in May, and it's basically all Abenaki, and it's stone and bone and leather and wood. It's I think, of course, I'm a little prejudiced on this, but I think it's a very interesting type of event because I display hundreds of items They all have some kind of significance as far as Abenakis are concerned. They're, like I said, stone, bone, wood, leather, and I I talk to people about how it's done and why it's done, and they get a little bit of Abenaki language in the whole event. They get some history. They get some cultural things. Sometimes a little song or um, some drumming. And anyway, there's a lot of those things we can do. They're not a lecture. Um, I don't even attend lectures myself. I don't like them. I like reading the book. But anyway, I can look into what might be available. We've been asked to do events at the state parks. Um, we've been doing curriculum, cultural teachings for the school curriculums. We did one recently for Burlington schools, and we're doing one for the Stowe schools, and maybe something like that would fit in. I'm not sure because I don't think we have anybody that we can bring in to talk about gardening. Um, and for instance, the jumping worms. We don't have anybody that we could bring in for that purpose, but I do have I have access to seeds. I have access to um, seedling trees that these are just the ones that are interesting to the Abenakis. For instance, I have shagbark hickory trees. I have butternut trees. I have chestnut trees, and
You mean on your property?
no,
You
we have
mean,
these available as seedlings. We have
oh,
a whole network of people that do different things and share. So these are things that we could possibly provide, not in large quantities, but in small quantities.
oh.
And blueberry, of course, is very important to the Abenakis. And anyway, a lot of these medicinal plants, we have people that know a lot about uh, the herbal medicines and other things of that nature. But I don't know that it would take up any great length of time. It's almost like it would have to be a group of these things or a list of these things that we could take care of.
Or maybe it could be like in collaboration with the plant sale. There's also some Abenaki teachings or instructions or plants or trees as part of the plant sale, for instance. Or maybe the plant sale can also be, what time is it, when is plant sale? Maybe it'll also be cool with the seed. Maybe seeds could be sold at the plant sale?
Well, it could be, and I was just thinking that, Patrick, isn't the plant sale always conflicting with the blessing of the land, or is that usually at Green Up Day? You know, there's something that is in conflict with, well, isn't it the blessing of the crops or the,
We do field blessings
that's in when?
in the first part of May.
In May. Yeah. So that's Green Up Day kind of things that you've been, yeah. I knew there was a conflict or something. Okay, so maybe at the plant sale we could do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing though is even the fact that there is going to be an art show at the schoolhouse. Well, what are they using? They're using
Using
traditional natural elements.
Right.
So it's, you know, the stone, the bone, the leather, and the wood. And those are all natural, and we can at least put it out there and advertise it for you.
We could put it on, the list of things that the Conservation Commission is doing. I mean, that could be listed there, even though the Historical Society is hosting it. It could be in collaboration, or it could just be that we list it.
Yeah, so at least we could actually advertise it.
Right.
Yeah. When we advertise, we do get a good turnout. I'm wondering if that's something that we could take, we could have live stream or something.
Oh, I bet somebody Pat, don't you think that MMC TV would be videoing that event at the Historical Society?
No idea. I actually, all I have is a little bit of communication with John Connell and Mary Hill. I have no idea when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen.
I think they're doing that in coordination with the open studio that happens throughout the state, which is May 24th and 25th. And Patrick has been invited to be a local artisan of sorts and be at the schoolhouse. So it would be best to check in, I think, with John Connell or Mary Hill as to how if we could participate or help or whatever.
Yeah, that's a neat idea.
That is a good idea.
I can do that if that is of interest.
Do you have an in with John Connell, perhaps?
Yeah.
No, she's best friends with Mary Hill.
Yeah.
She doesn't have an in with John Connell.
I have a lot of heirloom seeds that I could distribute too. We do Abenaki rose corn and Penobscot pumpkin. And a bunch of different corns and pumpkins and squashes and beans.
Patrick, were you thinking perhaps you mean at that time that you're with the Historical Society?
Or for plant sale.
Or for the plant sale, either.
Yeah, we could do it almost any way anybody wants. The problem with a lot of it is a lot of these seeds really should have been planted before then. We do have a lot of seeds that are have a very short germination time, and I think we have a corn seed that matures in 90 days, but it's only 2 feet tall.
September 1st.
Oh,
the corn.
Raccoon height, you mean?
Yeah, perfect height for the raccoons, although they don't mind climbing a little bit for a delicious treat.
Yeah, but I know the traditional date for planting is after June 7th. Now I think probably our zones changed a little bit, but that's July 1st is not, 90 days would make it September 1st, right?
We like to start them early inside if we can.
Oh, inside, yeah.
We like to get a head start on the bugs. Typically, the Abenakis would move their garden every few years, and they start out fresh with none of the specialized bugs.
How about the jumping worms? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we could include some seeds or you typically don't start out with corn inside, do you? I mean, corns?
You can, yeah. The idea is to have a more mature plant growing to sort of avoid the initial onslaught of everything that can attack the young plant.
Yes, cutworms, slugs,
Yeah,
those things. Cutworms. Yeah.
I can ask our group what they think they might be able to do for an individual town, and see what they come up with. You know, I'm 80 years old. My health isn't that great, and there's a lot of things I just can't do anymore. So I have to enlist the younger ones.
I don't know, you're looking pretty spry tonight, Pat.
Oh, you're going to make me blush. But then again, how will
Yeah.
you tell? I'm a red man.
That's good.
Oh, that is cute.
That is
right?
very cute. I like that, but you are blushing a little bit, unless you were out in the sun today. No sun
No, I
today.
never stepped foot outdoors. It's cold out there. It's snowy.
I have
But
one more thing.
I think we could probably we can come up with some things to suggest to you, and we'll
Okay,
see what happens.
thank you. Yes, thank you.
A recent past Conservation Committee event was town meeting.
Yes,
So I just wanted to bring up the idea that a number of people signed up, said they were interested in the Conservation Commission. I don't know, Betsy has it right there. So I wanted to mention that one thing, so I won't talk about people's names maybe right now online, but one was a young man whose father is involved in town government, and he is a very enthusiastic young man. He's in 7th grade, I think. He plans on becoming an Eagle Scout. He's passionately interested in the outdoors. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay.
The other folks who signed up, or a couple others that I know of, are really interested in a particular aspect of conservation. And one is on natural burials.
Yes.
And another is on beavers. And she wanted to point out to the Conservation Commission, she wondered if they might want to get involved in this, that at the end of, stretching my memory here, at the end of Corbett Road is a beaver deceiver
Yes.
that ended up the town highway committee. Oh, I don't know if Lori should be taking this down. Because my facts might be wrong
But
here.
this is live.
Something like the town highway committee perhaps did some excavating around it so that it doesn't really work right anymore. But don't quote me because I'm not quite certain it was the town highway committee that did it, but some excavating has been done around it so it doesn't quite work the way it should. It's like water, something like that. So it's not working properly. But she said that the beaver deceiver gentleman named, can't remember right now,
Yes.
his name, came to the town, talked about it, took people out there, looked at it,
Yeah, we looked
also
at it.
talked to the highway department.
Yep.
Okay, so everybody's sort of informed, but it's ended up having a problem now. And they wondered if maybe the Conservation Commission wants to get involved in that. And the person who signed up on the sheet is very interested in beavers. So I don't quite know if when these people would be interested in joining the Conservation Commission if their particular area of interest was not covered in the 1-year or 5-year plan or whatever. In other words, that's the point I wanted to make.
I think for that particular thing, first maybe we ought to find out from the town what
happened?
What has happened? Because I was out there last fall.
Okay.
I mean, before he built his traps and not trapped, but his,
So Karen, was that a town effort? Did the town pay for that?
yes,
Okay,
it was a town effort,
I see.
so, and he came out and I thought, I mean, this is, I don't know, hearsay, but I thought that he corrected something with it, but how, does a person live out there at Corbett Road?
I think that it's just that the residents there maybe visit the spot and see that it's not working and something's wrong
Okay,
with
well,
what's happening now
yeah.
out there. So I think it might have been a natural thought to say maybe the Conservation Commission should be taking a look at it.
Well, we can sort of find out from the person that you spoke with that's on the list what the intentions are. Like, is it to join the Conservation Commission, or is it just and be interested in beavers and other
And everything
features?
else.
Not, I mean,
Well, I mean, whatever the Conservation Commission is doing.
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Or is it just to deal with one problem or perceived problem?
So who ends up pursuing that list of people?
I think we,
Or do we wait until we have a plan and is that when maybe we should wait a few months and contact people after we've got a 5-year plan and some?
I don't know. I think if they're hot right now, we want to get them, I think we want to talk to them. I mean, Betsy has the list. Maybe we can.
Betsy's that have all of 3 or 4 people on it, or?
I have 5 people with emails, and 3 of those 5 have specific notes to the right of their emails as to what their interest is. Butterflies, conservation burial ground, ? Junior conservation group, and mushrooms are the
Good.
areas of interest. And then there's
And
one person, 2 people who didn't specify.
And we're doing projects with butterflies and maybe junior conservation.
Right, so I wonder if I would turn the butterfly person over to Trinity and have her follow up with that person. And then the conservation burial ground person we've had come to our meeting already regarding the green burial piece.
That's
So I don't
true.
know.
I think she might be interested in joining the Conservation Commission. She'd be very interested if the Conservation Commission would take on the idea of trying to conserve some land and get that sort of project going.
Yeah, she came and approached us with that.
Oh, with that idea.
With that idea.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So does it make sense for me to pass the butterfly person on to Trinity?
Absolutely.
And shall I inquire with the conservation burial ground person as to whether they're interested in general being on the commission with some interest in burial ground? And might Lori or Trinity follow up with the junior conservation group person?
Do you want to do that, Lori?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do we have already a list of other folks, like, the work party folks? Like, are we keeping a running list of people who've come to some of our events?
I do have some names from the past. They're probably 3 years old. And I wrote to all those people. I think we had about 5 or 7 folks after 2 town meetings ago, inquiring if they would like to come to meetings, and I don't think we got much in response. Not just come to meetings, but I can look at that a little bit more. That is a good thing to do. Steve Webster might have a good list of the invasive species people.
He does, I think he does.
Mhm.
And I could
Yeah.
touch base with him. Or
Yeah. I just didn't know if we had a list to compile them to. But yeah, if you want to send us the junior conservation members email,
Okay.
and we can at least reach out and thank them for their interest and passion. And then when Trinity and I touch base about getting in touch with the teachers over there, we can kind of put them maybe in charge of it.
Okay, so you want both the butterfly people? No, I'll just send that to Trinity.
Yeah, or,
And one-
you know, just,
Or send it out to everyone?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
thanks.
And I'll follow up with Steve and then update everybody about, because I think I pretty much have an idea of who the volunteers are that have come out, but he's probably had the complete list. My
Yeah.
list is in my head.
Because it might be nice, you know, once we're done with the brainstorming to say, hey, everyone, you know, even if it's been a while, here's almost like a little newsletter. Here's what we're working on.
Yeah.
Come join us. We start with them before we like put it on Front Porch Forum.
Nice idea.
Like a newsletter.
We'll have to look that up on Canva.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good plan. All right, so it's now 8:00. I think we have tasks ahead of us. Do we have anything else?
Do we have to do meetings? Or I'm not.
Yes, we do. We do have to do meeting minutes.
February 12th, 2024.
Just give them a few seconds.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do meeting minutes. And I know I read them, but I don't think I had any changes. So Lori sent them out on Valentine's Day. Oh, but for the flyers. That's right.
May I move that we okay the minutes of February 12th?
You may. Is there a second?
Can I second them myself, even though I wrote them?
Yes,
Okay.
because I don't know that I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the motions, been moved by Betsy and seconded by Lori to accept the minutes as written. All in favor of accepting the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Okay, the minutes are approved. And thank you. So that is done. Is there now a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll move to adjourn.
I
Betsy?
second.
Betsy, Laurie moves the motion and Betsy seconded it. All in favor of adjourning? Say aye.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, thanks for coming.
Good work.
And, yeah.